but we're worth it.
Maybe go there. Okay? Ready? Go. So ये wrong है केवी के फेवर में तो केवी को मिले 2 पॉइंट यानी कि आज सुल्तान अखाड़ा में दंगल जीत गए केवी अच्छा कप्पा खायो तुम हाँ
It's coming from Sohini.
Bye. How are you all?
Hello. Hello, everyone. Wonderful to be here. Let's begin. I'll begin with 2 invocations since I didn't ask anyone else to do it. Oh. Okay.
I think Sohini needs to turn down her mic because it's making a lot of noise.
Or mute yourself. You can mute yourself at the bottom. There's a place for you to mute yourself.
Today's subject. Everybody has not come, no?
Sohini, could you mute yourself if you move your mouse to the bottom of the screen? There's a symbol there for muting yourself unless you're speaking. And then when you want to speak, you can unmute yourself. See that? Okay, great, because there seems to be some other noise coming from your room. Okay. So
everybody has come?
Yes, I think so.
Because today's time is altered, no? America and Canada, they watches went back, no? 1 hour.
Yes.
So 1 hour delayed for we people. This is 10:30 for we people, PM.
Yes.
It's very late.
Yes. Okay. So could you click on that mute?
You did the prayer invocation, everything over?
Yes.
Oh
no, I'm going to do the invocation now.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, Carolyn, I can't find that place where I remember now. Okay. Okay. All right, so let's just take some breaths. And center ourselves here now. Oh, Divine Mother, Father. Wait a second, am I unmuted? Yes. May we actualize through intention and extension our body vehicle, singing eternally before the throne with the words, Kadosh, 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 Adonai Sabaoth. May the hierarchy and the bands of heavenly angels sing with us on earth as it is in heaven. May the holiness of our brothers and sisters in the higher worlds be with us in every heartbeat and every thought form. We pray that all of the letters in the language of light be eternally expressed in this holy prayer and song, ceaselessly for us. Kadosh, 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 Adonai Sabaoth. Kadosh, 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 Adonai Sabaoth. Kadosh, 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 Adonai Sabaoth. Eir, Asher, Eir. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of humanity. Let light infuse the earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of humanity. May Christ infuse the earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of humanity, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center which we call the human race, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where inequity dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. And so it is, and it is done. So one thing I want to mention today about the talking stick method is that there's no cross-talking. We don't make comments on other people's shares. We just allow that person to share, and when we feel moved, we share what we have to share without cross-talking and making comments on other people's. We just let it be in sacred space. And then we can keep going around the circle until no one has anything left to say. So that's how the talking stick method really works. I just wanted to bring that up. And so I've muted everyone. So when you feel moved to speak, you're going to need to unmute yourself, which is at the bottom of the page. Did you want to do yours first? Not necessarily, but I'll see how it goes. So we kind of had a topic for today about our group Antahkarana and how we are connecting our group Antahkarana into Shambhala, the monad, the center where the will of God is known.
Greetings, everyone. It's good to see you. I'll open by sharing. Can you hear me? Anybody here out there?
Yeah, they're nodding.
Oh, okay. Hi. I'll share by saying that I've had some very powerful experiences in the last month. And it's like, having a spiritual life, it's easy to cruise on the higher realms. And starting so young, it was a natural experience for me to start building the Antahkarana, but I didn't know it at the time, although I was under Dwakul's wing from an early age. But I ended up finding that I was on, you might say, a spiritual pedestal, in the sense that the foundation needed to be built more. And so this last month has pretty much taken that need for a foundation and put it very clear to me, so that I am now on ground level. still soaring and reaching higher heights, but now grounded in a way that I never have before. So it's a new experience for me, and I am feeling the group more. I'm feeling the Antahkarana more. And lots of different experiences have been happening even deeper, and my connection with Source and the hierarchy has expanded. So lots of deep emotional cleansing, incredible things have happened. So Jesus came in the other day and wanted me to share this short request, really. And he says, speaking to the group, he says, you are entering a time of great need for the cohesive focus on balance and peace. Many changes are upon you, so the work of this group to establish a vortex of balance is great. May I request invocations now for elimination of conflict to be put forward. Peace of mind is our goal, our focus. Be at peace. Thank you.
Are you guys talking to us, Jules?
No, it's whenever anyone's moved to speak about this, well, anything you want to speak about. But we did kind of have a topic of our group Antahkarana being connected into Shambhala, but whatever anyone wants to share today, but everybody's muted. So whoever feels moved to speak, just unmute yourself.
Okay, well, I love that message from JC, just saying. He's my favorite, kind of, maybe. Anyways, he's great.
Are you muted? Are we muted? I think so. It was good seeing everybody.
It's 2 pages worth.
Oh. There's Sarah. We didn't even get to say hello to each other. It's so strange.
I love that we can be in silence together like this and just presence each other. What a blessing. You know, as I'm sitting here, and I'm sure my beloved is feeling the same, we missed you guys a lot, and we also felt you guys with us in China to depths that it's really hard to speak. We were aware that we were ambassadors of this group while we were there in everything that we did, and I think, you know, each time that we go to China, it's such a stretching experience because it requires a lot of group cohesiveness like this. And I think that our journey together with you all during this process really prepared us to take our boots on the ground experience with our musical team to another level this time, and see doors open that were really incredible for all of us. And we, like I say, I'm a little overwhelmed, because just feeling the reality of what we're doing, feeling like you shared, the groundedness that is coming forth through all of this. I'm sure all of us have been part of groups at times where there's a lot of incredible spiritual talk and ideas being thrown around. And I know that all of these situations and experiences that we've had have led us to now to be able to really ground this. And I feel such a groundedness in our life that's taken another level, a level of commitment up leveled, a capacity that has increased quantum. It can be a little daunting and overwhelming at times to kind of assimilate all of it. And it's a joy to know that we're all stepping beyond. We say Om Gate Gate Peta Gate Peta Sam Gate Bodhi Soha. We're going beyond the shore.
What'd you just say?
We're going beyond what any of us have known before, and it's an honor and a joy to experience this deep love and abiding trust, knowing that we're all consecrated to one, and that's where we meet. So thank you. We love you so much.
I'll just say good morning from the City of Angels here in Los Angeles. It's good to be with you all. I echo what my beloved has said. And, just we're excited to, and a lot of you, I think, have already finished the light programs, I think, that's here. And because of China, we were delayed in really being on that train with you all. But we were just looking at the energetics that's coming up with Jupiter trining the North Node, and understanding, like, coming in where, we'll just let you know, Jeanette, we're going to do Vesta's light program activation on the 7th, and then do number 6. The 6th, we're going to do number 12. So we're going to catch up with a lot of you in that fact. But as we were reflecting yesterday, and just know that our commitment and our focus is right here with you all. And we're excited and grateful, and knowing that our Antahkarana, for us, as we've been uncovering these rules, it's been an amazing journey of putting words to a process that's been happening with us. That's going, oh, that's why that's happening. And that these beautiful beings have been with us for such a long time. And to have clarity around that is such a gift. And, there's a mantra that we say every day: I'm changing all my garments, old ones for the bright new day. With the sun of understanding, I am shining all the way. And so just changing these garments of even how we're doing structure, how we're doing the group calls and everything, and just staying open to how we move forward. Is such a delicate process of really, truly listening in a unique way that I'm grateful to explore how we do group together in the new garments. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. It's so awesome to connect again. It's this feeling that group energy is building for each time. I feel that we're communicating on so many levels now. It just feels more and more intense. And the heart is just kind of expanding, being here with all of you. It is so natural to be in this state. The personality will catch up afterward and will say, what happened? Probably.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, it's just, I'm just in it with all of you in this, and it seems like we're going to have a lot to do together as a group because we have a mission together. Thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to share a small subject. In my history, I worked with larger groups, never on a spiritual level. And so this is my first opportunity to work in a group situation on a spiritual connection. And I am just so in love with everything that is going through my body at this time with this group. It is just absolutely magic. And I know that we're all blessed. I just feel the blessing right now running through my body. And our work is just beginning. It's only at the beginning stages. So that's all I wanted to say. I'm just very happy to be with the group working on our group connection.
Sue, if you're talking, we can't hear you.
Beloved sister, if you check your settings inside Zoom and review which mic, and when you test the microphone, there should be a green indicator that will, there'll be an indicator that will flash green when your voice is coming through.
So much reflection. I can't see it. Oh, there we are. See what's happening. It seems like something's trying to talk. Are we muted? Yeah.
Are we recording this gathering? Yes.
Hi, can people hear me? I did something weird with my screen. Okay, well, oh my gosh, I don't know how to navigate the screen. Okay, but you guys can see me and hear me. Okay. So they're telling me that I should tell you that the grid that is being made between all of us is very clean and very clear. It's very gold white light. And over the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I don't know, there have been more and more visitations of different beings that are offering their support in this. And so we have a whole line of Egyptian gods and goddesses that are working with us, the whole line of ascended masters in the cases of enlightened beings off of this planet. We have the support of Helios and all of their beings. We have the Arcturians as well. We also have a bunch of beings that I've never seen before that are working with us for the highest levels. We have, each of us is being completely supported and sponsored wherever we need to go within the vision. And all of the masters are aware of our individual missions as well as the group mission, and they are working together to combine them in some semblance of sense so that we're not running all over the world doing all sorts of weird things and then coming back together. It's more like our visions are becoming interlaced together with each other's. And this interlacing is happening, and it's changing the grid, which is then changing the way that the energy flows. And I can see that we are building a light ashram, and I can see that it's starting to take shape and it's starting to take form on the grid, on the energetic grid, in the gold white light. And then they tell me again to make sure that everybody knows that they're being supported completely. And each of us, we don't have just one master that we're working with. Each of us has more than one being that is supporting our evolution of consciousness, our ascension process, and all the things that we are doing that are a divine mission on the earth. And we, like, when I tune into this room full of us and full of the beings that are here, it's like a full house, like a theater full house. Like everybody is smooshed in together, trying to just be like, we love you, we support you, kind of thing. So they just really want to make sure that you guys know that you're not alone on this process, on this journey. We have this group of physical beings, which is us, the group, but beyond us, we have so much support in this. And they just want us to know that we're going at our own speed. The timing is happening as it needs to happen, but it's really just our own speed. It is not a process to be rushed. It's not a process to be forced. It is a process that happens step by step, and each step is in perfection with the greater good. And that's how the group was working together. The group is working together by interlacing and lifting each other up, and it just goes on the right time. And there's this whole, like, I can see that the interlacing that we're doing with our lives and with our paths and with our devotion here, it is building this, these strings of energy that are they just fall out, and they're rooting into the earth itself, and they're rooting into the consciousness of humanity itself. And that's how it's spreading out, this energy of enlightenment and devotion and ascension. And automatically, through the work that we are doing, even if we don't speak it to somebody else, we are automatically rooting this consciousness in to humanity and to the grid and to the greater grid. And that's all. Thanks for listening.
I'd like to share that I had a very powerful week this past week, and I had some amazing downloads that came through to me that culminated with tears of joy flowing out of me in terms of what I'm to birth in the world and what I'm to, give to the world. And it's been kind of different layers of experience of magical moments and being lifted and really being carried and supported. And there was some experiences last weekend of almost being rocked in a cradle, that kind of level of support. And it was pretty amazing experience to sense and feel that. So I'm kind of on a new level that I haven't experienced before in terms of new revelations and insight, and emerging joy is another thing that's coming through me, is really tuning into, what would be the most joyful solution in this moment, or the most joyful outcome. And so that's really been coming through in sense of all these other aspects of integration and learning, and these fragments kind of coming through and feeling that wholeness. So I'm very grateful to be with everybody here and feeling lots of love. And for those that weren't aware, I did set out a template last night, but this is cool. You know, how the call is emerging in this morning, and I'm so grateful for everybody.
So who's Omega meaning? That's Sue's name comes up when she died. Oh, yeah. So that's for some reason she has that as her name. Okay. And who's in the center there? That is Akash Joy. Oh, Jane and Strauss. Oh, yeah. Here, I can do that. Yes, I can. Who's in that? Oh, there's Bria. Yeah. So, where's Peter and Sue? I don't know why they were here earlier. Yeah. Connie, you can't see Connie. Peter and Sue left that. Hello, everybody. I just want to thank you, Jeanette, for sending. If everybody hasn't seen what Jeanette sent about 7:15 this morning, our time, just to how the Antahkarana, the most effective way that it's built is, I don't know if it's would serve to read it, but it's really, really good. And I want to thank you. I was really reflecting this morning before we jumped on at 7 in the morning thinking that's what time it was. So we've been up for about 2 hours in deep contemplation.
You were eager.
Very eager to see you all. But really just spent a journey going through actually my group photos and really reflecting on all that is Christ consciousness, and knowing that this life, this love in action as the new world servers, as we're saying yes to being, knowing that there's nothing to, it's happening. And I love what Serafina really expressed here, because it was just a really beautiful visual of the Antahkarana being built and anchored here on earth as this force field, as the Elemental Grace Alliance and Son of Eden Pressure Council. But I just wanted to highlight that for us, because knowing that this is the theme of our group Antahkarana, because we're spending time with Vesta's material, it's really just present in our field in a hyper-focused way right now. So yeah, we're doing what no one's done quite yet. So that's all I wanted to say in this now moment.
Isn't it fascinating that we sometimes share when we are not expecting to share? I sense actually that was a second sharing you wasn't expecting, Jason. And as you spoke and as the sharings have unfolded, there's been something nudging, something pushing, a pressuring I felt. And the word that comes up is trust. The journey of trust for a teacher of God, for a group, because this is what we are. We are evolving into this process of becoming who we always were. And trust is an evolution. There is so many stages and phases of trust. And what I'm being bidden to share is that we're going to have a series of stages that will include, a sort of a dissolving, a disassembly of the old trust structures that we had. And then there will be a revealing, a bearing, and then there will be a tearing, almost as the image I've got is literally like cloth being torn from cloth, or Velcro. The idea that there's some adhesion, but it's only a self-imposed adhesion, and we can tear the Velcro, and there's a satisfaction and a certain sound, a certain dissonance and a certain resonance that happens because we're facing this competing, this conflicting energy of the personality mind, this old structure based on a mammalian type idea of survival, and the I am presence, which Sanat Kumara brought in through his incarnation 18 million years ago, and the eons that we've been working through of lifetimes. And so now we're coming to this beautiful point where, more so than ever before, there is an opportunity to receive such clarity, such support, such light, but to understand that trust is an evolution. And Jesus is also, Brother Jesus is also reminding me the idea that trust and faith, these are interlocking ideas. These are qualities that I know for myself, speaking for myself, that has been a wonderful unfolding as I've realized there's been that releasing, and then there's that resurgence, that deepening clarity, and then that realization of what trust is, that I'm finding myself shifting between, the reaction and the response. The time of the reaction and the response is shrinking until the reaction is the response. And the response being that which I would consciously establish for myself as a knowing of the I am presence. An automatic shifting into, rather than looking outside of myself, but to take a personal responsibility and to recognize almost instantaneously that there is the I am conscious presence within me and within everyone, and that I'm shifting to invoking, shifting to claiming consciously that I am, that tension in the 14 rules. And just one final sharing, this word tension was used by Brother Joakol, tension. And then I realized if you put it with tension, attention, that really what Joakol and what the 14 rules are pointing to is the attention that we are being inspired, we are being encouraged, we are being guided into holding and beholding. The attention that we have on trust and faith is what moves the world through us, is what transmutes us, is what allows us as a group. And so I celebrate that as we come together, what we are discovering is the emergence of an evolution of group consciousness that, quite frankly, has never truly been known, because we are the way showers. We are coming to a space and a place, and we're already connecting with this, we're already saying this. And in this beautiful, delicate moment where the flower, I see the lotus is beginning to open from the mud, and there's this delicacy of the leaves and the bud that is just wonderfully possessing such potential. The trust, as the lily, as the lotus blooms, it trusts. It trusts with the faith of the mustard seed, because that's its divine pattern. And that divine pattern and blueprint is within us. So trust and surrender. These are the qualities that now we are being called to, amongst others. But this is what I've been bidden to bring to you all. And so I love you and I bless you.
No. Okay.
before? Okay. I feel this is also inspiring. Everybody, well, this is the group synergy, right? It just spirals like a vortex, being bigger and bigger and more energy. But I am feeling that this is part of the externalization of the hierarchy, and which I was always so intrigued with from the Alice Bailey books. And it's a process of both involution and evolution. It's like at the third initiation, we become the soul expressing through the human vehicle of mental, emotional, etheric, physical bodies. And we're fully embodying the soul. And then at the fourth initiation, the soul gets absorbed into the monad, and we just are the I am. We just are the divine presence at one with itself, with ourself. And I believe this is going on for the group also. I feel it is. So yes, we're ascending, and we're at the same time descending. So there's something with that. And Serafina's channeling helped bring that visually and energetically, as well as everyone's sharing. But what has been most present for me is how absolutely dynamic everything is these days, and how rapidly everything is moving forward on the planet. And I feel that I can see the effects of the various invocations that we have done together, as well as the light activations that we've done together, just all of it. I am seeing the effects of that on the planet, and a even greater rapidity and dynamism happening. And it was really interesting. Last week, I had this woman here from Australia for a week doing a bunch of work with her. And one day, the day before we did the Dwal Kul pledge on the full moon, I did an inner journey with her, and the guide that she connected with in the sacred garden was Dwal Kul. And she didn't know Dwal Kul before. So this was really interesting. And he talked to me too. So at the end, he said, "Are you ready for your divine partner?" And I'm like, "Oh, no. No, I 10 years ago, I finished all relationships." Anyway, he said, "Well, if you change your mind, you can call it in." And he said, because two are more powerful than one, and so on. And it creates a huge pillar of light and all of this. And I know this from previous experiences of that. But I said, well, it has been coming up in my consciousness, Dwal Kul. But I felt that I won't meet this person until I'm on the 5D. And he said, definitely. And then he said, you are so close. It is a matter of choice. And so I guess the reason that I'm pouring out this story right here, right now, is because as a group, it is our choice to recognize that we're already operating in the 5D and beyond, as well, all the Ds, all the dimensions. We're already operating in. Right, and something about what our group is doing, and our Group Antahkarana, as various people have been expressing in each in your beautiful way, is that we are creating a grid, a space, etc., as Serafina described, where the Ascended Masters can come in. not only they can come in, but also through us, and we are them, and we are operating already as a group on a 5D level. So I just wanted to put that out, and beyond. Sohini, you need to unmute yourself so that we can hear you.
Now, can you hear me? Okay. I was telling that Antahkaran is the Sanskrit word. Antahkaran, Antah means inner, inner. Karan means mind, intellect, and this is sanskar. Soul is taking birth by birth. Reincarnation is there, no? Previous birth sanskar are also there. That is in our Antahkaran, along with mind and intellect. And all are together is the soul, our soul. Four things are together. One is soul, one is our sanskar from previous births, one is intellect, and fourth is the mind. And group Antahkaran. What is group Antahkaran? When like-minded people can talk very easily with each other. So the group people should be like-minded. The same subject should be interest for everybody. But there should not be individual will like. Individuality goes. No individual will. We will have to work with one thought all together. There should be cooperation, participation, group unity. No? These all are our masters are saying there are four things. Participation and ultimate is cooperation. We will have to cooperate with each other. Antahkaran, every person, every soul has a majority 2 or 3 rays. All the 7 rays cannot be, they are there. 7 rays are there, but 2 or 3 are predominating, and that gives the nature of the soul. Then we create group Antahkaran, then all the 7 rays are coming with perfection. So we require group, because one soul cannot do everything. But when the group is there, otherwise indigo is the color of the group soul. Main color is the indigo for the group soul. But as our master says, there are 7 colors. 7 colors. First is will and power. Second is love. Third is wisdom. Like all rays, some person have certain efficiency. All will not have willpower, but there is a willpower. Our masters Master Maurya has explained it very well. Antahkaran has three limbs, no? Self, one Antahkaran has three limbs. Shambhala, hierarchy and humanity. And outer is the universal consciousness. So when all Antahkaran united, then we can work better. Only one person cannot do this thing. That's why Peter is interested in making groups and groups and groups. When we are meditating, if we are alone, the energy is not so much. But group energy, you can feel so much. Tremendous power is there. Why? It increases the positive vibrations in surroundings. And in cosmos, all vibrations, when we are going together, doing anything, we connect with the universal consciousness. Our father and mother, we are making connection with our father and mother. So that is the divine consciousness, and we have to make our connection with those. So it will increase our vibrations, and if there is a group, there will be more energy. Group Antahkaran. So if we are at hierarchy level, that will also work better. Shambhala. They are also, we have to reach to Shambhala. Shambhala is also helping us. Hierarchy is also helping. Humanity is also. There are three limbs for Antahkaran. First is Shambhala, then comes hierarchy, then comes humanity. So all the things will have to work together. And why we are praying or why we are doing invocation? To get some help from our masters and from cosmos. Universal consciousness. What is divine universal consciousness? When we are with that when actually we are in connection of that, we can get everything, because that is full. All types of energy are there. Not one is missing. Every type of virtues are there. Every type of colors are there. Colors are what? All the virtues. Different color has different powers. So we have to work with everything. And with our group member. They say, no, there is no individual will remains if you are working in our group. There is no individual group will. We have to work as a unity. Unity in diversity. Always unity in diversity, and that will win. That will do something. If one person says this thing, I want to go this side, I want to go this side, no. Every person will have to be one at certain level. We are one. We are one in our thinking. Our thinking should be on one direction. Then we can win. Our mind should become alike. So sometimes happen, no? One person is thinking and another is thinking like same thing at the same time. These are like-minded. And like-minded can be anywhere in the world. Not necessarily they are staying together at the same spot. No. And our ideas, our thinking, everything should go on one way. When we are meditating, we are taking one subject, and everybody will meditate on that subject. Why? To increase our will and power. That will increase our power. When everybody will think same thing, it will give us power and energy. And energy, everywhere energy is there. But thinking, our thinking draws it. What are our prayers? Our thoughts only, nothing more than that. So thinking should be on positive line. Whatever we want, we should have very clear clarity in our mind. Mind should not be confused, no? In clarity of mind is very important. Clarity is important, purity is important. Purity of the mind is important. There should not be any clutter also. Open-minded, with clean heart and pure mind, pure heart. We should cultivate first of ours, and then we can say others to unite for that thing.
Thank you, Sohini.
Yeah. I cannot explain myself very thoroughly, but I can understand within myself what I am want to convey.
You gave us a lot of food for
But
thought.
again and again I have to read what our masters are saying. That will not help if we are reading only once or twice. We will have to go through again and again, again and again, again and again. That will help us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One of the other things that we talked about on emails is keeping this to an hour. And there's a lot of people who haven't shared yet. So I do want to give time for whoever would still like to share. Will you mute yourself again, Sohini? There's some noise in your room. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I would like to welcome Acacia Joy for the first time to our meeting. So nice to see you, Acacia Joy. I'd also like to add to the words of Sohini's is Peter's words this morning were so beautiful as far as how to build the Antahkarana. Now that we're going into a new way of new consciousness. And I did write an email to all of us about something I read that Peter wrote a while back that was just says it all pretty much. And I'll read it just in case you haven't read it. Peter was saying that the quickest and most effective way is to live the spiritual life, your life in Christ consciousness beyond the personal desires of thinking of self. Christ consciousness is selfless work, not dependent on one's focus to attain levels of initiations or spiritual enlightenment, but by simply living life in a selfless way, helping others, spreading peace, and educating through love and action. The Antahkarana opens automatically when the ego and personality are removed, not even by intention, just through the will to good and the will to be. And there's, then he went on to say that, do you think those who have ascended such as Mother Teresa, Francis of Assisi, and so many more had any thought of themselves in their service to humanity and God, how big would you think that their Antakharanas were? And I just think it's beautiful, that writing, and it says, pretty much says it all as far as building our group Antahkarana. It's just serving humanity and living the spiritual life. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Would anyone else like to share? Because we're going to, I think we will end the meeting. I think Paul was right when he brought up last time that people started getting fidgety after an hour. So but I just want to end the meeting. But if there is anyone else who would like to share before we do end the meeting. All righty. Let light and love and power bring forth the plan on earth in absolute beauty and pristine joy. See you in a couple of weeks. Thank you, everyone.
Nice to see you all. Love you.
Thank you.
Blessings, everyone.
Blessings.